hello on YouTube as well. Um, so that's that. All right, next up, how to make your Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok and other social media accounts go private. Now, from time to time, people do stupid stuff. There was a gal in California, some Instagram influencer. Someone was putting plywood up against a building. They were basically protecting it from looters. And she was caught on video on Twitter. She was caught going up asking the worker if she could borrow the drill, and then she pretended and posed for a picture as if she was helping secure this building. And I don't know what she posted. She was well known, called out, basically has had to shut down her accounts because she was not mocking, how should I say it? Virtual signaling, I guess, is maybe the best word. Maybe it isn't the best word to use, but she was BLM, Black Lives Matter type of stuff, and she was white and doing this, and obviously it didn't go over well. But anyway, I got a great article. If you find yourself in trouble and you need to make your Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok and other social media accounts private, we have the quick guide to take yourself off the air so that you don't embarrass yourself too far. There probably should be an instruction on how to delete your account in an emergency like that. But remember, once things go up on the internet, people will take screenshots and you're done. And if you're a politician, you can't delete your tweets now and stuff. You did know that, right? Okay. People rarely change their passwords after a data breach. My bank drives me crazy. I've got like the most absurd, complex password that you could ever imagine. It's not written down anywhere. It's generated by an application, and they still make me change my bank password like every 45 days. It's really super annoying. It happened this afternoon. Most services never make us change our passwords at all. I know some of you, in order to remember passwords, have some sort of system. And when you have a system and you're not using a randomly generated password and you're using a system and a site is breached, and let's just say you use let's say a 13-letter password, and you only change the last 3 digits of that password for each site that you're on. And maybe there's something from the site that triggers you to do some sort of, some way to remember how, what the password for this site is. But if you're using that same named sequence and they get one, they're going to get you all. They're going to look at that password and they're going to say, oh, look at this idiot. Look what he or she is doing. Let's try this email on the bank account or on Facebook or on Twitter. And next thing you know, you're without an account because you're using a system to store your passwords. This is bad, 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 bad. And it's only a matter of time before you get bit. It might not be now, but it might be 3 years from now. So if you are using a system and your email password sequence has been breached on one site, you have to change all your passwords on every site that's important to you. You really, really do. And if you're not, you've been forewarned. You've listened to this show. So you have to take this changing passwords seriously following data breaches. And if you're using a system, now, I'm not saying don't use a new system, but I've got the point now where I use I use a system to create the password, which is supposed to be random. So anyway, that's what's going on. You guys aren't following proper security procedures. General Motors reportedly working on an electric delivery van. Okay. They're following the steps of Ford and Mercedes-Benz. Have they shown a picture of what this thing's going to mock up, what it's going to look like? No. But it's just going to be a van, right? So how many designs can they have for a van? It's going to be called the BV1. It will enter production in late 2021. The van will be powered by an Ultium battery platform that GM revealed in early March and will share components with the company's forthcoming electric pickup trucks and SUVs. The source also said the van will be built at GM's Detroit Hamtramck plant. So electric vehicles coming to a Detroit factory. Not surprising there, but we'll see what these electric delivery vans turn out to be. Amazon, this is a pretty big deal because Slack has gotten no growth, largely no growth since the pandemic. But Amazon has announced it's going to license Slack for all employees while Slack will adopt AWS video calling tech. Now, I did a video call today on Slack with one of my team members, and we were on for about 45 minutes. It was just my marketing coordinator and me having a discussion, and it was good. But I guess Slack's going to draw on the underlying technology for Amazon Web Services Chime video calling service. In return, employees of Amazon, wasn't that nice? Okay, wait to see what just popped up in the middle of my screen. This is off CNBC.com. And for those of you that are watching, look at this. A big Kroger ad just popped up. Kroger weekly ad valid from June 30th to June 19th. You go ahead and click and create a shopping list. Isn't that beautiful? Little interactive. Let me go ahead and click on the asparagus here. Oh, it added it. It added it to. So let me click about 10 things. We need a bottle of Hennessy. We need some. So let me I'm sure I am targeting myself here. I better only click on stuff I'll actually use. So let me take the Hennessy off the list. So what does it do then? Does it give you a shopping list? Of course, it then gives you a shopping list that you can print and take. Now, that was pretty smart on Kroger's part. Now, how did it pop up in the first place? Oh, I hovered over the ad too long with my mouse. Isn't that pretty what happened there? Uh-huh. Okay, so that was kind of an interesting interactive ad. It interrupted my news commentary of the AWS and Slack, or Amazon and Slack alliance. So a new way to shop. I haven't seen that before. That was pretty slick. So I'm sure it's just collected all my information, sent it back to Kroger, and I'll be getting stuff in the mail for Kroger for the next 10 years. So anyway, going back to this news article, the alliance will help both companies battle Microsoft, whose Teams communication service has grown. I'm not a big Teams user. I'm not impressed with Teams. Slack has done really, really well, but Slack hasn't really had a big bump because I think a lot of people are already on Slack. There wasn't people to move to Slack from the pandemic because we were all on it already. Now, if you see what I just did, I just bumped that bottle of water. Now, if that had been a little closer, I'd have had water on the screen. A encrypted messaging app, Signal, I think we talked about this in a recent show, has added facial recognition protection for protesters. So Signal adds a blur tool that can obscure faces. So you can take a picture of a protester or a rioter or whatever and flip a switch, and it will blur those individuals' faces so that you can send a message to someone else so that that picture cannot be used against the people. Now, they're saying that it's just basically protect the identities of people that are demonstrating. Now, I'm going to be kind of frank here. With as much as this going on, you don't think that every camera that's available in cities has not already been using facial recognition on people that are in the crowds? I don't think there's anything wrong with people that are peacefully demonstrating. But what if they're taking that peaceful demonstration images, cataloging it, and then if someone's got a specific type of T-shirt on, and then later that night, they're able to, because of the facial recognition, track that this person with this T-shirt and this same face is the person that's thrown a brick through a store. I just would imagine that that technology being used, but a lot of these instigators are wearing all black hoodies, face masks. Perfect time for face masks, by the way, and doing their thing. So the real perpetrators of doing naughty stuff probably are already got their face obscured as much as possible. But anyway, this is something that Signal has done as part of its messaging encryption and protection of their users. Scientists have spotted a special and familiar Earth-like planet with a sun-like star. Okay, this is kind of stupid. You guys catch that headline? Scientists spot special and familiar Earth-like planet with a sun-like star. Stars are suns, right? Last time I checked, there's not a star in existence that isn't a sun of some sort. Well, they say it's a likely exoplanet in the Kepler 160 system, reminds scientists of home. And this thing is 3,000 light years away. A study led by astrophysicists Rene Heller and Max Planck of the Institute of Solar System Research in Germany investigated the planets, which is, again, located around Kepler 160. The data shows a likely exoplanet there. An exoplanet is a planet that's located outside of our own solar system and may enjoy a very Earth-like relationship with its star. So they describe this letter designation, there's exoplanets being called KOI-456.04, is more than just another potential habitable world, saying the light from its star is very much like the daylight seen on our home planet. The exoplanet's orbital period is also similar to Earth. So this is our twin. KOI-456.04 is bigger than Earth, but still less than twice the size of our own planet. So as soon as we figure out how we can jump on a starship and go 3,000 light years and still survive the trip, maybe we can go visit this thing. But at least for now, it's in the catalog and they can kind of figure it out. Hey, again, if you're watching on Facebook, if you haven't checked in, please check in, say hello. Definitely appreciate it when you do. Same thing on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, we definitely want you to say hi. Appreciate it when you do so. This is not a surprise. Amazon has been sued over their warehouse safety conditions after COVID-19 related death. So the warehouses are, quote unquote, supposedly the perfect breeding ground for a coronavirus outbreak, according to AndroidCentral.com. So at least one employee contracted COVID-19 from its warehouses, leading to a death. The company also faced similar legal issues in France. By the way, I did a check today. My county has 123 confirmed cases with 2 deaths. And that is, we went from 52 to 123 over about 5 or 6 weeks. So that's where my county is with the number of infections. But anyway, so Amazon is getting sued. This is not surprising at all. How many of you have power bricks? I have 3, 4, maybe 5 power bricks. And I seem like they're all in a different state of being charged. You got one in the car, and even though I've got USB plugins there, the bricks seem to charge faster. And I've got 2 in the loft, 1 here in the office. And but a good reminder here, for many of us, we're just getting into summer. More electricity use. Have been running the AC here in the studio all day. We're going to have storms, lightning, tornadoes, you name it. So keep a fully charged phone power bank at home. Keep that thing charged up. I get the big ones, the 10 and 12,000 MAUs. It'll charge a cell phone 5, 6, 7, 8 times. But if you got a brick, keep them charged up, because you just never know with the craziness going on in the world before someone, throws a brick at a power plant or a power substation or cuts the. You just don't know what's going to happen with the crazy stuff that's going on right now, including just normal brownouts when energy supplies can't keep up with demand. So, keep those bricks charged and I like having, if in a go kit, if you've got a situation where you're in a hurricane zone, keep one or two in a go kit. We knew this is going to happen. Hi, Barbara. Thanks for being on. Thank you for the happy birthday wish as well. We knew this is going to happen. CDT, the Center for Democracy and Technology, appears to be the first out of the gate in suing the president to block his executive order in Section 230. In the aftermath of the executive order being issued, some people don't even know if this is going to be possible, if this is because there really isn't a lot of meat to that executive order, but they're just basically saying this was retribution on Twitter. And we've talked about Section 230 at length on this show already. I gave you guys resources to go look at yourself to understand what Section 230 does. I actually was having a discussion with someone in England a couple of days ago, and they were just like flipping out about what the president did with this Section 230, and they thought they were trying to silence Twitter and all this stuff. And I said, in the United States, we have a unique law. Please go read it on our EFF site and read that. And after they read it, they came back to me and said, yeah, the opinion changed. It flipped on its head. And because they just didn't understand the protection Section 230 had given Twitter and Facebook and all these other groups. But, that story is not over. We'll see what happens in the forthcoming months and potentially years ahead for Section 230. But it takes the Congress to do something. The president really can only do so much. A small ISP has canceled data cap permanently after reviewing pandemic usage. Now, I want you to kind of pay attention. This is over on Ars Technica. And I'm going to destroy this. Antiam, Antietam, Antiam Broadband, small regional ISP, has canceled caps. Comcast and AT&T have only waived caps through June 30th. Now, this intrigued me, and I read quite a bit of this article. And listen to this statement. The decision to permanently drop the cap was made partly because of learnings from the COVID-19 pandemic as more people work and learn remotely. Antiam explained, during this period, customers moved into broadband packages that more accurately reflected their broadband needs. Like most other ISPs, Antiam charges different prices based on speed tiers as measured in a per bits per second, with Antiam's advertised download speeds ranging up to 1 gig. So what they found, people started to have to work from home. They got the kids at home. Everyone's there. The whole family's there. They're all using internet, and they didn't have enough broadband. So what did they do? They called them and upgraded their packages. All right. So they're making a lot more money because everyone's upgraded their packages. Well, what happens when moms and dads go back to the office and kids eventually go back to school? There isn't going to be this huge demand for broadband. So are they going to lower their plans? And then Antiam going to say, oh, okay, you're not paying us enough now. So we are going to have to enact caps again. I think it's a little telling here when they said, well, when people bought the higher broadband speeds, oh, now we got enough money. We don't have to enact the caps anymore. U.S. residents have been using more internet data, of course, since March. Now, Antiam had imposed its data caps in 2015, charging a $10 overage fee for each additional block of 50 gigs. Ridiculous. The monthly caps range from 500 gigs to 1.5 terabytes per month, except for gigabit fiber plans that already included unlimited data. So gigabit fiber, what is that? Probably 1 gig internet, right? So Comcast and AT dropped caps, but not permanently. They're going to go back to their caps on June 30th. I got a message from Verizon. I had downgraded all my, I canceled my Verizon MiFi and only kept a Verizon plan for one of my iPads. And they had given me an extra 15 gigs and say, you better use it. It's going to lose it. And I'm like, well, I'm not using too much. I'm on Wi-Fi a lot. So, so these deals are being put on the shelf. They're soon to end. At the same time, I heard here in my local town that they are now going to be starting to turn the power off of people that haven't been able to pay. And I thought it's a little bit early. People aren't back to work yet. And you're going to probably the people that can least afford to pay their bill are the ones that are probably not back at work yet. So they're going to start doing disconnections again here in a few weeks. So we'll see what happens in my little town on how many people that didn't pay their electricity bill, they're all of a sudden going to have no electricity. Runny nose, apologize. It's from the Red Bull. The Red Bull always gives me a runny nose. Hulu will stop working on some older Roku devices starting later this month. So if you've got an older Roku, what version? The affected models are released in 2012 or earlier, so quite an old one. I've got some of those in some boxes somewhere. Includes Roku players with a model number between 2400 and 3100, and Roku streaming sticks with a model number 3420 or earlier. Now, my Roku streaming sticks go with me when I travel. And I travel someplace. When I was just anywhere I would go on travel, I'd have a Roku stick with me or a Fire Stick for Amazon as well. So those are probably pretty old in my bag. So, and not that I'm watching Hulu. I don't really care that much, but anyway, that's going to happen for those of you that are Hulu fans. Tim Cook says Apple must do more to combat racism. Tim Cook's Black Lives Matter statement dominates the Apple.com homepage. Cooks is saying Apple's mission to create technology empowers people to change the world for the better, but we must do more. He briefly touched on the works being done to help underserved school systems and the environment, and says that Apple is donating to organizations including the Equal Justice Initiative, which challenge racial injustice and mass incarceration. So he doesn't commit to further donations or specific actions explicitly. However, the statement has been given significant prominence on the Apple's homepage. So if you want to check that out, you can go over to apple.com. Facebook is now letting everyone export media to Google Photos. I would recommend that you do this. If you have the Google Photos accounts on an annual basis, if you pay for it's not bad. You can still do mass upload to it. And if you don't pay for a premium account, they reduce the resolution of the pictures a little bit, but probably a great way to back your data up off Facebook. So as you're posting stuff that could put you in the community guidelines, timeout section, you're not going to lose your photos. So make sure that you export your media to Google Photos. At least you have a secondary place to back that stuff up. Criterion, Criterion, it's a streaming company, will stream notable titles by Black filmmakers for free. It's part of an effort to fight racism. So they're making available a number of titles, including Daughters of the Dust, the first feature film by a Black woman to be distributed in the theaters of the United States. Maya Angelou's Down in the Delta, Shirley Clark's Portrait of Jason, Agnes Varda's Black Panthers, and Kathleen Collins' Losing Ground. IndieWire reports Criterion will share work by both early pioneers, and we are committed to examining the role we play in the idea. So basically, they're also donating some cash to support organizations that are fighting racism. So, as I mentioned, Slack shares were down more than 15% as revenue growth remained steady despite pandemic. So they didn't grow that much. It's because a lot of us are been on Slack for a while. Germany will require electric vehicle charging at every gas station. That's a beautiful thing. That really is. Can you imagine if they mandated that here in the United States? But it would be awesome because there is definitely a lack of charging stations throughout this country. We've got all these electric vehicles and most people can only find a place to charge them is at home. or you wait around in some parking lot until somebody gets off a charger. We need a lot more electric charging stations in the United States. Samsung Hair target is the Samsung Hair is a target of arrest warrant request for alleged accounting fraud. Now, this guy, again, he is in the news. J.Y. Lee, who has acted as the de facto head of Samsung, had previously been convicted of bribery, perjury, and embezzlement. And he's now got a request. There's a warrant for his arrest. And it's over the investigation back again to the controversial 2015 merger and alleged accounting fraud tied to a suspected succession bid at the electronics giant. Of course, his father died, or actually suffered a heart attack. And he took over, and he had faced up to 12 years in prison. It was reduced down to 7, and then some more court proceedings and probably lots of millions of dollars spent. He basically didn't go to jail. So now they're looking to put him in jail again. So, I don't take this the wrong way, but a lot of business in Asia gets done by greasing fingers, greasing palms. I think that happens a lot in the United States as well. So when they want to go after someone, they just got to look at, what kind of cash changed hands. So I'm not saying that's what happened, but, that's pretty big in Asia. You can now watch more free TV on the Roku channel. The Roku channel now offers more than 100 channels for free. Wow, I wasn't aware. Which means cord cutters and other fans of free stuff now have more content to choose from. So in 2017, Roku launched the Roku channel. Again, it was a free ad-supported channel full of movies, and since it evolved into a hub. So what do they have for us? So they've got, as of the start of June 2020, the Roku channel boasts more than 100 channels in the United States. This thanks to an expansion of another 40 channels. Those include the Bob Ross channel, Vanity Fair, Wired, Exumo, Free Movies, Redbox Free Movies, and Reuters. The channel offering free content includes news, sports, kids, and lifestyle programming. There's also Spanish language channels, including AFB Español, America TV, Latino Music, Love Nature Español, Movie Mix by Pangola, and Pangola Novele Club. And a lot more, I guess. So definitely going to have to check out the Roku channel, see what that lineup is and if there's anything there to actually watch. Hey, Google is facing a $5 billion lawsuit for invading privacy of users. Should this come as a surprise? Are people even surprised that Google has been invading their privacy? You may be surprised to learn that private mode doesn't actually mean private. Google is tracking your internet use. Reuters reported there's a proposed class action lawsuit against Alphabet that's seeking at least $5 billion. The lawsuit alleges that Google has been illegally invading the privacy of millions by tracking their internet use through browsers set in private mode. So Google calls their private mode incognito mode. And it would be reasonable to presume that a private mode would enable users to find information that they would not be comfortable having Google know about. For example, people might choose to look up intimate and potentially embarrassing things in incognito mode, believing that Apple would not track it. Oh, yes, they're tracking it. Did you know that? According to the complaint filed in federal court in San Jose, California, Google gathers data through Google Analytics, Google Ad Manager, and other applications and website plugins, including smartphone apps, regardless of whether the user clicks on Google-supported ads. Google spokesperson Jose Castaneda told Reuters, as we clearly state, each time you open a new incognito tab, websites might be able to collect information about your browsing activity. As you may have guessed, Google intends to defend itself vigorously against the claims in the lawsuit. Yes, you're being tracked. Anytime you go to any website in any mode on your browser, they're tracking you. So if you're tracking for health issues, you're absolutely being tracked. And your IP is being tracked. You're not on a VPN. You knew that, right? incognito mode and a VPN, it protects you a little bit more, but not at all guaranteed, folks. HBO Max will not eat up AT&T data plan. AT&T wireless customers without unlimited plans can stream HBO Max without fear, but Netflix and Disney Plus will still eat up data. All right. But HBO Max will not. For how long is that going to last? Does it say? It doesn't say how. It's sponsored data. It's probably not forever, but just be aware, at least for now, HBO Max is free on AT&T plan. Also, Apple's 2021 iPad Pros could have 5G. You would fully expect that to be the case. Also, you need to be on the lookout how to spot and avoid tech support refund scams. If you receive an email letting you know about charges for a service you've never used or offering a refund because the company is going out of business, you should be aware. Following up with these emails will very likely open you up to a scam. So this is something that says you're being refunded money. So usually if they're going to offer you $300, $400, $500, or $600 for a service you maybe didn't know you paid for, just buyer beware. All right. Okay, that's going to bring us to the end of the show today. Actually got through pretty quick. Kirk said it was a light news day. Let me look here at did I have any emails come in? I did not have nothing new. So I didn't piss you guys off too bad, or you unsubscribed from the last show. Who knows? But as always, don't forget here, we've got a sponsor, geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy, 15 years straight. We want to keep that going. We hope that you will continue to support GoDaddy. If you don't want to pick up a GoDaddy product or service, don't forget we got the Insider program. And this is a great time. This is if you can afford it, a $2, $5, $10, $15, $20, or $25 donation a month is fantastic, or a one-time donation to the show. We've been picking up a number of new insiders coming in at $2 and $5 a month. I definitely appreciate that. If you're on a $2 plan and I've been delivering value to you, consider moving it up to $5. And if I've been pissing you off and you want to go from $5 to $2, that's great too. Hope that you'll consider an ongoing monthly donation to the show. Again, every penny goes back into paying the writers, and there's none of that comes back to Todd. Well, Todd uses it to pay the writers, and it does get part of our income for paying Uncle Sam taxes if there's a profit or loss on the company. But it's doesn't go to anything directly into my pocket. It goes to pay, and the writers are putting up good content on the website. So anyway, that's it for the show today. And if you've got comments, geeknews@gmail.com. Geeknews@gmail.com is the place to go. I want to thank you for being here. Hopefully the news cycle will pick up a little bit. We still almost went an hour, even with my commentary. And what does that make me? That makes me 8:20 in the evening, which is pretty awesome to be able to get out of here and probably in the car heading towards the loft by maybe about 9 o'clock. We'll only have made for a how many hour day for me today? 14-hour day on my birthday. Not too bad, right? All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the family. Thank you for watching the show. We definitely appreciate all of you and all my buddies that checked in. Vernon, Kim, Greg, Toby, everyone that basically checked in. Thanks, Barbara, for checking in as well. And of course, I missed a few people here, but your support of the show is greatly appreciated. And we'll see everybody on a Monday. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there. Stay safe with all the craziness going on in the world. We're having a protest here in my little town tomorrow from 12 to 5. So I will be prepared. So everyone take care. We'll see you next time here on the Geek News Central podcast. Everyone take care. Bye-bye.